Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where you are in the world. This is Zeal's Gaming. I'm, of course, Zeal. And this is your guide to making money on Eurotruck. So, what this is going to be is this is going to be a kind of like a series almost, a YouTube guide series of how I'm going to show you essentially the slow way of making a good solid career on single player on Eurotruck. And then what you can do is you can take that career and you can move it towards the multiplayer and go from there. So this is a brand new profile. I haven't linked it with World Trucks. I haven't linked it with World Trucks because it's not my main profile and I don't really want to farce and fuff about with that just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the slow way, and by the slow way I mean that this is going to be starting. I'm going to do it with no loans. We're going to go and we're going to earn it. We're going to level up. I'm going to show you which ones to level up first and how. And then by the end of this video, we should have a fairly decent roll. We won't have a massive roll, but we'll have a fairly decent roll. We'll be hoping to be about level 3, maybe level 4. And then as we progress through the series, we will essentially grow the economy, will grow the company, and we will make the company rather large and very, very profitable. Hopefully, driving permitting. So, we're going to drive. As it's the first one, what it does is it gives you an automatic quick job, and its ventilation shaft, it will literally be around the corner. So we're going to set off. And what I am going to do is I'm going to set these settings. I'm going to get rid of the mirrors because I don't like them, and I don't know whether. Yeah, I've got a GPS, so I don't need that either. Don't like the fact I'm on the left-hand side of the road. That is very disconcerting to me. Means it's the right-hand side of the road I want to be on. Now I've got fines and everything switched on this as well, so bear that in mind. If you do run a red light with all the fines and stuff on, you will get fined. But like I say, I want this to be as close to like a real life situation as possible. When I get my own truck, I will be going on the right hand side because I can't drive on the left. It's very, very weird to me. You've got to be careful of speed limits and everything as well. So again, it's all stuff to bear in mind. Right, I'm going to go with the let's play it safe. If I'm streaming or if I'm playing with friends, I generally go with the let's not bother, because the XP doesn't really mean that much when you're higher up. But as a brand new driver to the game, the XP helps you level up, and it's the levels that get you the money because you are able to do more jobs overall. So as you can see, experience going up a little bit. Teeny tiny amount. That's the first ever job done on this profile. There's my garage, look. Woohoo! Pretty basic. First garage, job market, quick job, because that's all we've got available until we get our first truck. And as you can see, it's sorted by price. So as we're trying to make money, we're going to go from Calais to Felixstowe. And we're going to take that job first, and we're going to go across the pond, and that will make us our first bit of money. Again, it's another Scania. The fact that because it's a quick job, I've got always my map up is kind of annoying, but it will be really useful for you guys for having it, because it tells you how long you've got until your job is finished. It will tell you where you're going. It will have all that information on it, whereas the sat nav on the screen, to my knowledge, can't be changed to any of those screens. And unless you've got the trailer pack, you can't have a sat nav on your screen unless you've got a truck that is able to do so. So do bear that in mind, guys. As for trucks, Which truck you decide to choose first is entirely up to you. Obviously, it depends where you end up going and where you end up buying the truck from. You will have to discover the truck dealers in order to actually buy from them. So that's going to play a big part. What I would suggest is generally trying to go for a Scania or a Volvo first. They tend to be the best trucks. Mercedes tend to struggle, as do DAFs and stuff, without the upgrade packs. Ah, you see, like that, you get fine. As you can tell, I'm used to, on my main profile, playing on multiplayer and having all the fines switched off, so we tend to just run the red lights. But I am going to try my hardest to not run them, and I will apologise for any mishaps and possible shouting and cursing that may or may not occur. Also, the speed limits are going to be a big thing for me. Now, the other thing we're going to have to remember is when we go across, we are going to have a different side of the road to deal with. So we're going to be on the other side of the road, which is going to be really, really, really weird. We're going to choose Dover. And we're going to drive from Dover to Felixstowe, and that'll be our first job. The way that we're going to do the levels, I'll show you how the levels work when we level up. But the way we're going to do, we're going to choose one type first. Then we're going to choose the next type. And then after that, we're going to go for one of each. That will make sense when you actually see it. But there is a reason for doing that. This way. Go left. I think there's anybody else on the map, but I can't see. And the reason why we're going to go in that sort of a format of maxing out one and maxing out a second and then kind of going ham and just doing one of each is because it'll open more jobs up to us. And longer jobs, first off, give you more XP, and then different types of jobs give you more XP and stuff on top of that. And the faster you level, the more stuff you unlock. So on and so forth. So there is an optimal way of doing it. It's a very nice cabin here. I absolutely adore the detail and the amount of detail and the level of detail they've got. Right, I don't know if there's anything coming behind me. It doesn't look like it. Now, the thing you got to remember in this is when you're playing on single player, the AI is dumb. Really, really dumb. So it really does keep you on your toes because you can't let anything happen because cars will just run into you. They will stop. You are kept quite on your toes. As you can see, this Land Rover Jeep thing in front of me really, really, really doesn't like roundabouts. Now the other thing on the game is when you go past a item of interest, in this case it was a job center, which is where you go to hire your other drivers once you've got a truck and enough money. You'll have a question mark until you've done that, and that will happen for both job centers and your truck merchants, your dealers. Your service stations always show up. So do your garages. Now I am playing with a controller, and I am playing simple automatic. My aim... Oh, speed and offense. I forgot about the speeding cameras. Oopsie. As you can see, if you don't pay attention, you will get burned. My goal is to get a wheel at some point, and that will make the experience for myself anyway much better. But it works perfectly fine with the controller. I really have to watch these speeding offences. Is it average? It must be an average. How to make money? Go and get loads of fines. Yep, that seems legit. That seems like a good way of doing things. Right, with 50. I'm not going 50, I don't think. Right, we're heading onto a motorway though, so the speed should hopefully be a bit better. Gotta watch the other cars. Coming up behind you. I want to hit him. Get a fine for that and all. Now the quick way of doing this would be to get a loan. Do a couple of jobs, get your level up, and then the bank will message you and say, "We can give you a loan. Help your company get off." And it's okay to do it that way, but if you're not careful and if you're not used to the game, what you can end up doing is getting a loan, crashing your car or your truck or whatever, and then as a result, what ends up happening is you end up in a lot of debt, and the bank starts reclaiming your stuff, and it gets very, very hair-raising as a way to get everything sorted. So for newer players to the game and people that aren't sure how the system works, I would not advise getting a loan straight away. It's best to take your time, learn how the game works, and go from there. Now, the other thing in the gameplay is you can change everything that you want to something that you deem as good. So you can change the currency to your local currency. You can change the speed to a speed that you feel more comfortable with. You can change pretty much anything. I normally have it in obviously Great British pounds, and I obviously have it in miles per hour because I'm a normal person. But if you are one of these metric favoring people, you can change it to kilometers per hour. You can have it in euros. You can have it in whatever currency you like, I do believe. So you can make it set to however you want. You can even change how they weigh it. So you can do it in tons, you can have it in kilos, etc, etc. It's alright, I saw the speed camera there and I didn't want to risk it, so I slowed down. I was like, yeah, nope. I know I'm in the fast lane, but I'll slam my brakes on. It's all good. Nice and easy. This is actually quite a long job for the first one, even though it's a quick job. It is surprisingly kind of lengthy. They're not usually this long to start with, so it's kind of cool. Good little hitch up. As I say, we'll keep going. We'll always try and take the longest one we can. What you'll find as well is, to start with, the game will send you pretty much just to Calais and back. So it'll send you from Calais to Felixstowe, from Felixstowe to Calais, and back again. You'll get a lot of those jobs, but those jobs are generally worth quite a lot because there is a border crossing involved. And whilst you're doing jobs that are quick jobs, i.e. paid by other people, you are hired. You don't have to worry about fuel costs or ferry costs. They pay that, so you get more money out of it. When you've got your own truck, you obviously have to take into consideration that you will have to pay for all that yourself. I've also got fatigue simulation switched on for this as well, which means after every 8 hours or so driving, you do need to take a rest. I think it adds a nice little bit of realism for the game when you're on single player. However, you don't really want that on if you are playing the multiplayer app. But yeah, watching out on all them. It is much easier to find the speed cameras, to see the speed cameras, when you're in Britain, as opposed to when you're somewhere that is like France or something. Also on single player, you do get police cars that will travel around, and if you do something that you shouldn't, they will just fine you and fine you and fine you and fine you. So it can get quite pricey if you get stuck behind a police car and you are not following the rules of the road. So bear that in mind as well on single player. There was talk of them adding AI cars into the multiplayer as well. I don't know whether I'd like to see it or not. I think it would certainly make for an interesting dynamic. But as for whether I would actually want to see it or not, I don't know. Being a good boy and indicating as much as I can. Almost there. This really is a very lengthy job to start off with. This is good. Generally the trucks start at around 90,000, so that's how much we're going to have to kind of earn, is around 90,000 pounds for a new truck. So as you can see, it's going to take a few jobs, but if they continue doing this, and obviously you get your long distance leveled up and you get your ADR and stuff, then what that means is you can essentially get much more money quicker, which is kind of cool. So the fact that it's given us such a good job to start off with is really, really nice. It gives you a good feel for the game. And there's not been any silliness, which is also nice. You can also enable a quick travel feature in the game. And what that means is you can buy different garages as you grow your company, which will allow you to buy more trucks. And it will also allow you to quick travel to that location. Now, it's not really that needed or important on single player. However, if you are playing on multiplayer, having a quick travel feature is really, really useful because it allows you to meet up for convoys. So, obviously the game save data is all transferred across whether you're playing on single player or multiplayer. So, making sure you can get to a point where you can buy pretty much every garage that you get to is really, really handy and will help you a lot. Because what it will mean is that you are able to always meet up with whoever and wherever. It enables much more freedom. But obviously, if you're playing with a close select group of friends, you're probably all going to have the same sort of garages anyway. So just bear that in mind. You can also set your weather as well. Like your weather is pretty much, I think it's set quite high. And when it's set quite high, what happens is you will end up with more rain than not. So if you're not a fan of seeing rain on your windshield, then I would very much suggest going into your gameplay and changing that as well. When you're close to your job, as you can see in the bottom right on the sat nav, you'll see at the top there is like a flashing zone. That signals that you are very close to your job. That signals where the job is due to be dropped off. So when you do that, you will have completed your job. You'll get your XP. You'll get your money. Any deductions will be taken off for damage. And then you're ready to take the next job. And so on and so forth. The detail in this game is very, very good. They've taken a lot of time going back to the rain. If you turn all your other sound off, so you've got no like radio station on or anything, what you can actually do is you can hear the rain as it hits the roof. And for me personally, it is one of the most relaxing sounds I personally can think of. It's just the same as listening. Say you're sat in your bedroom or whatever, and you listen to the rain on the window. It's kind of cool. It's nice that they've taken that amount of time to do that amount of detail. Stay in your lane. Bigger truck than you. Through. If you are doing a long drive later on, you do have cruise control, which makes it a lot easier. It means that you can set your truck to the same kind of speed and just kind of focus on steering, which is nice because I like to have a drink and I can't rightly drink if I need to go and steer and stuff. Obviously, it's a bit different when you've got a wheel. You don't really need the cruise control, although it's nice to have. Is there a speed camera as we come in here? No, but there is a car slowing down because of course there is. And there is an average speed. 48. So as long as I'm going slower than 48, we'll be fine. Which is really frustrating, I might add, because the job is right there and I just want to go. I just want to be like, hi. But we got away with it. We got through without getting a speeding ticket there. Go me. I feel so proud of myself. I genuinely thought he was just going to carry on going around the roundabout there, guys. That would have been really bad as a how-to video and then crash. So I'm really glad that I managed to brake and he missed me, because that would have been really, really embarrassing. Right around the roundabout. I'm hoping this levels me up because this has been a fairly decent job. So I'm hoping this levels me up and I can show you the leveling system a little bit and show you what I mean when I say what to level up and how. I'm gonna pull in. Using signals. See, the AI does actually react quite well to your turn signals, which is really nice. I'm just going to come round. I like these big yards because they make it much easier to line up for your drop-off point. Nice and easy. Look at that. Not quite in, but it'll do. Excellent, means that I did no damage. Is this going to level me up? Yes. Perfect. Right then. This is your level screen. So, on your ADR, you can legit pick any of these, right? What I always say, though, is to go long distance first. Long distance allows you to go further and further, and the further you go, the more XP and the more money you get. Okay? So, it is very, very important to do that. Long distance is first. Then ADR, and you go for ADR because it allows you to choose different missions, okay? And it opens up, again, more jobs. And each one of them does choose different ones. So if you choose them, it helps. Then I say go for one of each of these because, again, it opens up the different drives. And then do eco driving last. If you've got realistic fuel consumption on it, it doesn't really matter anyway, but eco driving will help you. But that really isn't that important. I would say do that one last, get these ones in first, and go from there. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take long distance one, which will allow me to go up to 350 kilometers, 5% higher reward for delivery drive distances longer than 250k, and 25 experience bonus for delivery distance longer than 250k. So we're going to apply that. And that will now, like I say, open up. Now the other thing that happens is I've leveled up, and they're letting us know that we've got a showroom lot in Lyle. We can go and get a new Scania, and if we want to get a loan, which we're not going to be doing, we can do that as well. Come out of that screen and you will see that your rating goes up depending on how many delivery jobs you do. And here's your money. So I've got 6,000 euros, and we've got one driver, which is me, and that shows your profit over 7 days. So there you are, guys. That has been the opening, if you like, to this series. I will continue on this profile for this YouTube series, and we will see how long it takes to get a new truck, essentially, and then we'll go for 2 trucks and so on and so forth, and we'll level up daily, and we will do that. I say daily, I'm actually meaning more like weekly. Also, you can catch me playing this on stream on my main profile on Tuesdays, if I am not bowling, at twitch.tv/Azrael112. Feel free to catch me there. I will put the link in the description as always. And that's generally it. I generally play ETS2 on Tuesday nights if I'm not bowling, and I will try and get this out, an ETS2 video every week on a Wednesday at around this time when I come home from work. Don't forget to catch my other videos as well, and thank you very much for watching, guys. I shall see you all next time. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao.